so next up to the stage, we're going to welcome Erin of Postcard Coffee.
Hello, everyone. I'm Erin. I'm excited to introduce my business to all of you. So Postcard Coffee is a mobile cafe housed in a retired postal truck. Our purpose is to cultivate community and connection while delivering delicious handcrafted beverages. So this is a photo of the truck here. She is playfully called Gertie. Our menu draws inspiration from the Fraser Valley and from our truck's history of delivering mail. One of Postcard Coffee's values is to support other small and local businesses. We do this through, We do this through community partnerships such as using locally roasted coffee and matcha sourced by a local cafe. We will also have a rotating selection of retail items from makers and artisans, and we'll partner with the business owners to share about our respective businesses. Postcard Coffee fosters collaboration by inviting our community to send a note about a business that they would like to see featured in the truck. In terms of financials, the initial startup investment needed for Postcard Coffee is roughly $35,000. I have invested $24,500 so far. This money has gone to the purchasing of the truck, the necessary coffee equipment, and then branding and marketing materials. Approximately $10,500 is needed to complete setup and begin operating. So business launch and projected timeline. I am currently working full-time at a downtown business improvement association and have made many connections with other small business owners through my career there thus far. For the first year of business, my plan is to work on weekends and at events while maintaining my full-time job. This approach will allow me to build brand recognition, foster connections, and ensure a steady income source as I grow my business. My planned service locations for 2025 include Mill Lake Park, which has food truck spots facilitated through the city of Abbotsford, pop-up locations in downtown Abbotsford to partner with retail stores, and street festivals such as Berry Fest and the Winter Jubilee. Winning the prize money would assist me with finishing the plumbing and electrical install in my truck so that I can begin operating. I'm currently allocating a percentage of my monthly income into business savings to complete my startup. My business marketing channels include social media, cross-channel promotion through small business partnerships, events, and printed loyalty cards. Opportunities for growth will come through continuing my education with trainings and workshops, especially some through my community futures, securing additional partnerships and pop-up locations, and a willingness to pivot to meet consumer needs. This has been a passion project of mine for quite a while. I have always had an entrepreneurial spirit, and I also just really value community and connection. So a coffee truck seems like the perfect fit for me to be able to serve my community, and I really appreciate your time and attention.
Thank you, Erin. How do you see this business growing in, say, 2 and 5 years?
Yeah, that's a great question. In 2 years, I would love to be a permanent fixture at Mill Lake Park during their season that they have food trucks there. I often walk there myself, and I'm craving a warm beverage as I'm there. In 5 years' time, I would love to have a small team of people that I am overseeing and just really instill the values of a small town coffee truck of connection and excellent handcrafted beverages. So I definitely see growth in the future, whether that comes to more locations for my truck and then bringing on a team as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Could you tell us a little bit more about your market research?
Yeah, so in terms of my community in Abbotsford, there aren't really any coffee trucks, but Chilliwack is booming with them. So I do know a couple of the owners of the trucks there and have some good relationships. I really value collaboration over competition. So it's been great to chat with them about how their business is doing. So I've done market research with that.
Similar vein, but as competition grows, like you mentioned, there is lots of places booming with coffee trucks. How are you different than the rest of them?
Yeah, so for one, with Gertie, my truck being an old U.S. postal truck, and Postcard Coffee really tying into the theme there of postal service, mail service, and then the Fraser Valley. We also would bring in local ingredients and partner with local businesses as well. So an example would be Cafe Amardi. They just opened their own matcha sourcing company called Mail Matcha, so that would be a great partnership opportunity.
As far as, I think I asked you this before, but I'm still a little bit unclear. So your market research was conducted essentially in Chilliwack and Abbotsford.
Yes.
And your goal would be to start up in Mill Lake initially. So what are the costs as far as licensing, parking? What does that look like permit-wise?
Yeah, I'll actually go back a few slides. So for Mill Lake, that's facilitated through the city of Abbotsford. So they charge a one-time $100 parks and recreation fee for the full season, which is roughly May, June to October. And then they have an external food truck organizer who filters through the trucks, and then they would take a percentage of the revenue, so typically 5% to 15%. And then for just operating, I would have all of my fire permit approvals, Fraser Health approval, and the tech safety as well. And then for downtown Abbotsford, it would be a highway use permit, which again is through the city of Abbotsford. So that's $110. And basically they just want to make sure that you're protecting the streets wherever you're parked and that you have any permits that are necessary. So that would be if I were to park in front of a retail store in downtown Abbotsford. And then street festivals, they will ask for Fraser Health approvals, insurance, and business license.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What drives your passion to want to do this?
Oh, I love that question. I have always wanted my own community growing up. And so being able to foster that for myself just feels very empowering and inclusive. And I know how much just a simple cup of coffee from a cafe means to me when they know who I am, they check in and ask me how my day is going. And so I would like to be able to offer that to other people.
You mentioned building a team, so tell us your plans for that. Why would people come work for you in your coffee truck?
Yeah. So when I told my friends about wanting to launch my coffee truck, I was working at a local cafe at the time, and I had a couple people say that they were interested in working with me, and I think it's because I offer just an inclusive, fun work atmosphere and don't take myself too seriously. And then also the values of really emphasizing quality coffee, quality drinks, and then that connection with each customer. It's not just here's your coffee and next person. It's really connecting and growing those relationships.
Erin, in terms of your budget, what is your break-even point?
Yeah, so I did a rough calculation of expenses and revenue, and so for the first year, just expecting to start up, gain the clientele, establish myself, and then ideally I would be working full-time with my coffee truck. So estimated monthly income operating 25 days out of the month, selling approximately 60 cups a day, average $5 a cup, can go up, can go down from there. It would be roughly $7,500 monthly revenue. And then my expenses are calculated at $4,500. So that would include supplies, fuel, utilities, permits, miscellaneous items. So estimated monthly net profit is $3,000, and I calculated my viability at roughly 11.7 months.
Just to add on to that, will you be paying yourself as part of your expenses in terms of your budget?
Yeah, so I would start to pay myself once I've reached that viability.
Well, if you have time, how do you deal with seasonality, weather? What pivots do you do to?
Yes, luckily I'm someone who loves rain, so I will find a way to make it still have cozy offerings to bring people in the rain. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.